All right, it's day 34. We're at Vincent Gap, which is a little trailhead right before you do Baden-Powell. But it's been a few days, so since we last checked in. We basically woke up that morning by the creek and we had a 6-mile hike to McDonald's. And McDonald's was...
so good.
It was amazing. That sounds silly to say, but it was really, really good. Well, at first, we did the fastest we've ever done. We averaged more than 3 miles an hour to get to McDonald's, so we might have been a little food motivated.
A little bit.
And so we got there at like 9:45, and they didn't serve lunch yet. So we made one order on the breakfast menu, got like a McGriddle or something, McMuffin.
Delicious.
It was pretty good. And then we waited. There's a gas station next door, so we just went to grab a couple extra snacks. Then came back, and then once it hit 10:30, we could put in a lunch order. So then we got some chicken nuggets, and I got a McDouble. Corey got a cheeseburger.
And fries, and we split
and
nuggets.
Fries,
and
yeah.
It was great.
It was really good. It was really good. And then I went back for one more order and got a little sundae and 2 more McDoubles to pack out. There's a thing that some people like literally pack out McDonald's for like the next day and a half, like to get to Wrightwood.
Days.
But I didn't want to do that, but I wanted to just see how good they were. So I packed out 2 McDoubles to bring to camp that night, and they were good. And then eventually it was sad, but we did have to leave McDonald's. From there, it's like 5 miles to a water cache. And then next it's dry for the next, like, I don't know, 17 or 20 miles or something. Yeah. So we did leave around the middle of the day, and it was kind of hot to start. It's kind of cool, though. You wind around a couple of train tracks, and you're right there by those really cool rocks by the Cajon Pass.
You go through some tunnels.
Yeah, you go through tunnels and underneath trains and watch the trains. And, yeah.
It was really pretty.
It was nice, but it was hot. And we got to the water cache and chilled in the shade for a few minutes and refilled a little bit of water. I packed out 4.5 liters from McDonald's, and she took like 3.7. So we really only got it like less than a liter each from the water cache. And then we reluctantly started making our way up the hill. I think McDonald's is like 3,000 feet, and we camped that night at 6,500 feet. And it was another 15 miles. So we did 21 miles that day, which has been our longest day yet, again.
Your record.
Yeah, but it was nice. We got some nice cloud cover that afternoon, so it made the climb not as brutal as it could have been for sure. And we slowly but surely made our way up the hill, and we were worried because there's not a ton of places to camp in that area, but we pulled up to this campsite and it was just empty and had a spot that perfectly fit the Durston. I ate my McDoubles for dinner.
What are you eating?
It's a taste of America right there.
McDonald's.
It's nice. I didn't have to use any water to cook.
It was really pretty. Nice sunsets and views of LA.
Yeah, you can like look right down at Riverside and see the light pollution. It's
still nice.
It's nice. And then we woke up and we had like 12 point something miles to get into Wrightwood. Technically you can get off earlier, but you do a bunch of off trail miles. So we did like 5 miles, and from there I think 7 miles. Then you go fill up water. So there's like a nice little spring. It's a little bit off trail. I got some water there, and then we just, kept hiking. And the trail did get back in the snow a little bit and got kind of hard to follow for a bit. But it was short. And then you walk through Mountain High, the ski resort. So it's kind of cool. You're literally like, there's the ski area boundary like listed, and then you just like walk right over it, and the trail goes right through Mountain High.
Underneath the ski lift and everything.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And then we got to the highway there. I don't know what highway it is.
Highway 2.
And we were hitching for a minute, and then this real nice couple got back from their little hike, and I just went over to say hello, and they had one of the Jeep trucks. And I was like, "You give us a ride downtown?" They're like, "Yeah, let's see how many we can squeeze in." And it was Corey and I, Stinky Vish, and this other group of 4 hikers, Jake, Mary, Bijie, and Bluey. And they ended up putting all of us in there. There's 3 of us in the back, and
Jake wasn't there, but yeah, everyone else.
Oh, that's true. Jake wasn't there, so 6. I was wondering how they fit so many people in the back. Yeah, so there's 3 people in the back of the bed of the Jeep, and then 3 people in the back seat. They were real sweet.
So nice. Thank you.
Yeah, gave us a ride to town. Then we immediately went to the Mexican place and got lunch.
Food first.
It was really good. I just had a carne asada quesadilla. Corey got enchiladas, suitas or something.
Go to.
Yeah, we got a root beer and a Diet Pepsi. It was all really good. And then we walked up to our Airbnb to check in. It is only 3 to 4 blocks from downtown, but it is like 2/3 of a mile
Long
up a
walks.
hill. So it's farther than you'd want to walk, but
But it was real cute.
yeah, we had like a tiny little private flat above someone's garage there. So we went up there. Corey got the laundry started. We were able to be lazy for about 2 hours and just chilled and laid in bed. But after that, it was time to kind of get back to doing stuff because we weren't taking a zero. So there's so much to do. You gotta like backflush your filters and clean stuff and clean all your dishes and do the resupply, figure out what you need to buy, pull all your old
Figure out
food.
how many days to resupply.
Yeah, look at the map, see how far you're going.
Wash yourself.
Yeah, so we showered, we got laundry done, and then eventually we walked back downtown, got a large pizza, and it was like a 25-minute wait. So in that time, we went and did a little mini resupply. There's 2 main stores in town, a little gas station market that's pretty well priced, and then a bigger grocery store that's a tiny bit overpriced, but you know, you pay mountain prices places. So we did double little resupply there, and then we walked back with all our groceries and our pizza. We tried to hitch, but it's just hard to hitch and hike in the dark. Yeah, and then we woke up today, and today we
had breakfast.
Yeah, we went down. We had to go to, there's the Mountain Hardware store, which is like the hiker store in town. So we went there and checked out, got a couple of things, went to Grizzly Cafe and had a really good breakfast. I got my favorite meal when I was a child, which is a Belgian waffle with strawberries and whipped cream and 2 eggs and bacon. And Corey got French toast and the same. It was really, really good.
So good.
And
they
then,
give a discount to PCT hikers, so thank you. That was
yeah,
awesome.
Grizzly Cafe was cool. And it was Mother's Day, so it's a little busy, but yeah, happy Mother's Day, everyone. And then I actually went back and got new shoes. We kind of foolishly sent our micro spikes and ice axes on after San Jacinto. Didn't think we need them for the section. And pretty much everyone's saying you should probably have them for the section. That being said, there's a number of comments on Frout. People have done it without them, and everyone's been like, it's okay. You just might prefer to have them. So we found a trail angel in town, Carol. Thank you, Carol. And she has like lender micro spikes for people. So she had a pair that fit Corey. So that's awesome. And then I just went and grabbed new shoes because they say shoes will last like 500 miles out here. And we're at like mile 370. But I wore them for a good few weeks or almost a month before the trip too. So I probably had 420-ish miles on them. So they had a little life left in them. But the tread was really worn, and since I'm going to be doing snow this whole next day, I figured I might as well just get new ones a little early, so I've got at least fresh tread to hold on. And I went back to the apartment, finished packing, got everything ready, and then walked back downtown and had a bagel and cream cheese and a smoothie. And I threw my old shoes in the hiker box at the hardware store, and we got a ride. There's a whole book of trail angels at the hardware store of the Wrightwood trail angels. And the third person I called, Marlene, answered right away. And she's like, let me talk to my husband. Her husband says, I can do it right now. So Kenny came and gave us a ride back up to the trailhead.
Kenny.
It was really nice. Yeah. And then
we did a quick 4.5 miles. Easy.
Yeah.
To Vincent Gap, where we are now.
Mellow hike down the hill a bit. We're down to like 6,500 feet again. And yeah, that's it. We packed out a little pizza, so I had my pizza for dinner. It was really nice. I bought 2 beers for last night and only drank 1, so I packed out the other beer because I figured why not. So we got here early, set up. Yeah, it's been nice. Tomorrow we're going to try to get up the earliest we've got up and try to... Everyone says, the snow is harder in the morning, a little easier to deal with. It gets slushier as the day goes on. We're basically going to do like 10-ish miles tomorrow, but it's a 3,000-foot-ish gain, so the top of Baden-Powell to the summit. And then you start going down the hill after that. But after that, like 10 miles, apparently you're through most of the snow. So we're hoping to just take our time tomorrow, get through all of it. And then, yeah, hopefully not camp on snow again tomorrow night. So, yeah, that's it. We'll try to get some good footage tomorrow, hiking up the hill. Hopefully it's nice. Hopefully I don't slide around too much. But yeah, that's it. Okay, since we last updated the night before, we were going to summit Baden-Powell. And so first day was Monday. We woke up at Vincent Gap and we climbed Baden-Powell. We left at like 6:15 out at camp there. We got up to the summit at like 9, and it's a big climb and there's no switchbacks. It's a lot of snow. So it's like a snow snare master for like the last, mile. You kind of like, instead of switchbacking, it's just these big steps in the snow. You just like walk all the way up to the summit. But it was not bad at all. I did it without spikes and never had any issues. It was really pretty mellow.
I had spikes. I didn't really need them, but they were nice to have. I wore them.
Yeah. are at the top. Summit of Baden-Powell. And it was kind of a butt kicker though to get up, and then I was really more concerned about coming down, because a lot of times coming downhill in snow is like a lot sketchier than going up. But luckily you kind of ridge walk a lot of the way, and the ridge had enough dirt on the left side of it you could stay off the snow a lot. And then when you drop down, it did get a little bit sketchy and like slidey dirt, but it was nothing too bad.
Yeah, more slidey dirt than slidey snow, so it was fine. It's real pretty.
And we ran into Ann and Kian again up there. It's also fun. There's a book at the top you sign in, so it's fun looking at the hikers that were there the day before, 2 days before. So it was fun reading all the names.
You can see where all your friends are.
Yeah. And then right after the summit, we ran into Anna and Kian again. We had lunch, hiked down, and it was a short mileage day because the climb's kind of steep. And so we ended up just doing like 10.8 miles, I think, like 11 miles, and sleeping at a nice campground at still had a lot of snow through it, but there was plenty of dry spots to set up your tent. And then after that was Tuesday. Morning. Day 36. Tuesday.
We hit the frogs.
Yeah, there's a section of the PCT that's been closed for years to let them try to save some habitat for like some yellow-bodied mountain frog that's endangered
frogs.
So you have to walk the road for 2.7 miles.
But and then you get back on this really pretty trail where we had one of the coolest water sources I've seen so far, where it's basically like a tree that's just pouring out water. It was a really pretty trail. Nice alternate. I would take it again.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff too after Baden-Powell, you do go through a number of different burn zones. So there's a lot of trees that are just black and gray and dead. And then that one tree we got water out of was like had been burned, but it's still alive, and it was pretty cool. And then Tuesday was a big mileage day for us. We did like 23 miles or something. Yeah. And we hit 400 miles on Tuesday. So that was cool. And then we were going to camp at Glenwood Camp, but there's a Christian camp that people had made some comments about that said they'll give you a bunk and you can charge there, and there's Wi-Fi, and sometimes you can get food. So it is like a mile and a half off trail. And we weren't sure, so we got up there, and the place kind of seems deserted, and there's like no people to talk to. And finally, we found some guys that were kind of just working on the property, and they called the guy, and the guy's like, "Yeah, just go to cabin 16. It's a real cool Christian camp with like cabins and an archery range and a pool, and like it looks like it'd be a fun place to go camp for sure." But they basically there's a bunker we could use, but it had a shower. There was not really soap or towels, so we kind of like used paper towels to dry off after I showered with just water. But it was still nice. There was like a bunk, and it was warm. Yeah. And one other couple we met there who also stayed at the Christian camp, and they were cool. Bambi and Knuckleball, real experienced hikers. Bambi's done all the trails and stuff, so they're definitely doing a lot more miles than us. But it was cool to talk to him and ask him his opinion about stuff and how it's changed since he did the trail.
And the next day was another 23-mile day, I think.
Yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday blend together a little bit, the hiking, because it's a little bit monotonous. You go from like being at 6,000 feet and in the mountains down to 4,000 feet, and it feels like a desert. And then you gotta go back up and back down and back up and back down. And basically there was just a couple of long mileages days that not like a ton happened.
But Thursday was cool. We got Trail Magic.
Yeah.
Todd.
Todd is a guy, he's a caretaker at like an old fire station that's not active, but he'll give hikers a Coke and a Rice Krispie treat in the daytime, and apparently if you're there at night he'll also bring out beers for people.
So rad. So
yeah, he was really, really cool. And another day, Thursday, we did like 20 miles, so the 3 days, it's definitely like the most we've done in 3 days. So it's like at least 65 miles in the 3 days, which got us down to the highway where you can hitch into Acton. Acton is one of the better resupply spots out of this little section. It's got 2 markets, and there's a couple places people stay. There's like it used to be a KOA, now it's a LARV resort campground, and then there's the 49er, saloon in town, and it's got like a big gated back area, and he built a shower out there and has bucket laundry, and he lets you camp out there. So we camped at the 49ers. It was nice. There was probably 15 or so hikers back there, and had dinner there, and yeah. It was pretty nice. Thank you to Larry, is the guy who runs it. He's really, really cool. And we resupplied there. And then the next day, the only issue with 49ers is the train goes right behind it and blasts its horn really, really loud, like every hour for like 3 hours straight. So I got really crappy sleep that night. I think I only slept like 4 or 5 hours. So the next day we decided to come here where we're at now, which is the Hiker's Trinity Oasis in Agua Dulce. So it was just a 10-mile hike. It was actually really nice.
It was gorgeous.
Yeah, rolling hills with like the foxtail, it looked like wheat that are like, I mean, some of them were 6 feet tall, no joke. And it was all blowing in the wind, which was really cool.
And then we went through Vasquez Rocks Park.
Yeah, you hit like this tunnel underneath this big highway, like, and you come out, you're basically in Vasquez Rocks, which are famous because they filmed a bunch of movies there, like Star Trek and a whole bunch of other ones. And it's really cool. It's just geologic formation. So it was a 10-mile day, but it was actually pretty lovely overall. A really nice hike. And then we got into town. There's like 2 restaurants in town. There's a tavern and then the Mexican restaurant. So we had some Mexican food, and then we came to the Hiker Oasis here, and it's a really cool place. It's
so
Farmer
lovely.
John and his wife Andrea run it. It's a $30 donation per night.
Per
They have
person?
an amazing resupply. There's shower, there's laundry, everything's included. There's Epsom salt foot baths. It's just like a 7-acre property that's kind of like an old homestead feeling. So there's like kind of, shipping containers laying around and like different things. But he is so good to us.
So accommodating. There's so many places to hang out and chill. It's like one of those places you want to get sucked into and stay and like zero unexpectedly, and is awesome.
Yeah, and then the resupply store that his wife built is unreal, organized, everything hikers need, and very, very, very fairly priced. Like we could have 100% done a resupply here
Instead of Acton.
and not had to do it in Acton. But still, we bought some stuff because they had like the individual mayonnaise packets that are hard to find, individual olive oil packets. They've got the nut butter filled Cliff bars. A lot of the stuff that I love that's hard to find they have here. So that's been really nice.
Shout out Farmer John and Andrea. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And we tried to rally to go to karaoke. There's karaoke at the Mexican restaurant last night, and we almost rallied, but I really needed my sleep. So we got good sleep last night. And yeah, I woke up, not in a rush today. Went and had breakfast, and we're
At the Cowboy Tavern. It was good.
Yeah, got another Belgian waffle with strawberries and whipped cream, my favorite. And yeah, it was nice. There's a lot of hikers we knew here. Flames is here. Heard she's with another group. They're all really nice. Stinky Fish. So it's nice. This area's a lot of hikers just chilling. It's been really lovely. And now we got to decide what we're doing today. If we want to
probably do a short day out of here.
yeah, half day, though. It's very tempting to want to stay one more day and then get out of here early tomorrow because the sun's already up and it's hot. But we're starting to realize we're moving a lot quicker than we used to be, and we're getting places sooner than we really need to. So we're not in a huge rush right now. We're kind of trying to lay off the bodies, make sure everything's nice and fresh. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's it for now.
That's it.